Time for the international papers. Florence Vilmanose with us here on set. Of course, the paper's concentrating very much on Syria today, I'm sure. A lot of attention there. Three top military and security leaders, including Bashar al-Assad's brother-in-law, killed.
That's right. It's on the cover of virtually every paper today. And the bombing, it's important to note, was announced by Syria state TV. And as of yet, there are no official photos of the aftermath, so it's important to remember that. But we're going to take a look at some of the front pages today, starting with the Wall Street Journal. Europe says that a bomb hits Assad's inner circle, and there you see a video grab of what's said to be celebrating in Idlib in the north of Syria following the news of the bombing. It's also in the cover of The Guardian, which says bombers strike at Assad's elite. And there you see an older photo of Bashar al-Assad with the powerful General Hassan Turkmani on the right in that photo, who was allegedly killed in that blast. It also mentions rumors that the president's wife has fled Syria. It's also on the cover of The Independent, which says that Damascus bomb strikes the heart of Assad's regime. And there you see a similar photo to the one in The Guardian, but this time it shows the defense minister, Dawood Raja, second from the right, who was also allegedly killed in that attack. And finally, it's on the cover of the International Herald Tribune here, a huge blow to Syrian leaders. And here, also on the cover of the International Herald Tribune, you see the photos of three of those powerful men who were killed in that alleged blast. But it's important to remember that there were no official photos, and some people on the ground say they didn't even hear the explosion. We're going to take a look at a couple of tweets, starting with these tweets by Lena Sinjab. She's the BBC journalist in Damascus, and she said that, first of all, residents very close to the building said they haven't heard any sound of explosion or gunfire, haven't seen, there's another one where she says, later, I just walked around the National Security Building and saw no signs of explosions, no broken windows, no heavy security presence. And that tweet was corroborated by another tweet by Rima Alaf, who's an associate fellow at the Chatham House, a British NGO, and she says that my friends in Syria told me the same thing. So, strikingly different take on things, and hopefully all this will get cleared up rather soon.
We hope so. Papers also have very different takes on just what the bombing means, assuming it did take place in the first place.
Absolutely. So we're going to start by looking at the editorial in The Guardian, which says death in Damascus, and it says that yesterday was a major turning point in the Syrian uprising. Quote, yesterday was different for two reasons. First of all, it was the third day of fighting in Damascus, which, according to this editorial, is proof that the Free Syrian Army can hold ground against the regime. And second of all, it was proof that it was for the very first time the conflict was up and close and personal for Bashar al-Assad. And it says that this attack on the stronghold within the stronghold, this simultaneous killing, blows a hole in the heart of the government. It says it's the final act of this terrible tragedy. Could be very much sooner than we originally thought. But it's interesting to note that there's a different take on things in The Independent by the Middle East correspondent Robert Fisk. He's even more pessimistic. He predicts that there are more massacres to come and compares Syria today to the former Yugoslavia. And he says that the sectarian divisions then were remarkably similar to the situation in Syria today. And he says that the appalling scenes from Syria are beginning to reflect the barbarism that we saw in Bosnia, Croatia, and Serbia. And he says that Bashar al-Assad might just hang on a little longer.
And the Arabic international newspaper, this is Sharika Laswat, they're wondering just what al-Assad is thinking now.
That's right. They wonder, what is he thinking now that Syria is moving towards an unpredictable turning point, now that he no longer controls Damascus? And it says that those who have met al-Assad recently say that he lives in his own world. He's completely detached from reality. And Sharika al-Assad looks at recent interviews that he gave and says that he has no sense of the danger around him and doesn't even seem to care. And they point out that al-Assad is transferring his troops from the Golan Heights to Damascus, and according to them, this is proof that the real enemy for the Syrian president is not Israel, but rather Syrians. And according to this paper, he has two options, either to flee to Tehran or to face a fate similar to Gaddafi's.
Okay, Florence Vilmanose, looking through the international newspapers, obviously dominated by Syria today here on France 24.